What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1tutorials.com. And today we will bring you another episode of This Week in Hip Hop History.
Lauren Reeves, catch me on IG at Opaque Inc. Company. That's OPAQUEINKCO. Follow, friend, like.
Follow, friend, like, subscribe.
Yep.
Turn the bell icon on. All right. So today in this week's episode, we're going to be looking at a seminal drop, a piece of equipment that completely changed the landscape of the world, the entire world over. This is the original DigiDesign.
The OG, super OG, triple OG.
Mbox. All right. Show it to the people. Let them get a good look at it.
Front.
What you're looking at, that is the first USB interface that mattered at all. During this time, this was a very adventurous time in making music and creating hip hop. It was a time where the tools that you use to create hip hop were not capable of giving you a piece of material that you could play back in your car. It was kind of hard, you know what I mean? Like, you would, if you wanted to record something, you had to record something either onto a workstation, which was like a 10 gig hard drive, but it didn't burn CDs. It didn't stream into your phone, you know, so the song was just stuck in there.
Yeah, that's all you had. It was just, hey, I've got it over there in that thing.
Or you went to the studio, right? And you paid like $400 for a 4-hour block, and you either exported your beat from your MPC, but you bought the Struggle MPC, so it only had a stereo out, where most of them you could put 8 outs, and 8 sounds was pretty much a whole beat. So you had to spend the whole 4 hours tracking it out, you know, taken advantage of by the engineer who was hustling. And then when you get done with the song, again, it's on a tape that you can't just put into your car. This is hard work. Then CD-ROM hit, and you started to be able to get those workstations that would give you a CD, but the workstations were like $1,500. Who had $1,500? All right, so boom, 2002, the Mbox drops. Your 4-hour session, which is $400-500, that's how much that costs. It's $495 in 2002. It is for Mac only at this time. And it hits every single Full Sail campus, all right? Every single SAE. So now all of a sudden you have, you know, people in full sold out campuses who are getting put onto this, and their homework assignments for for mixing doesn't have to be just in the studio. You get practical experience with the Mbox on Pro Tools, which was the only thing that people were even half-ass serious about recording music on a computer. Like, at that time, you didn't record music on a computer. Like, if you played a guitar and you were nice in a band or something, and somebody was like, yo, yeah, come to the extra room in my house, I got a computer in there and we'll make some music.
Yeah,
you see how that sounds? Because you're old too. Yeah.
It sounds bananas. Like, real, like, okay.
Yeah, you needed microphones and cables and everything. So imagine now you could go to the extra room, and not even the extra room. You go into the bedroom of your dog's house.
Just go into the closet and just record your vocals. Like,
that's where, you know, the meme where it's like, you know, people be in the studio and it's like a little baby xylophone, and you know that one. This is where it comes from. This is what made this shit possible. That's how important it is. This is like the first thing that you could record on the computer, right? That was like latency free. Instead of listening back to the signal from your computer, its output on the headphones, you could just blend in with this knob right here.
Onto it.
You know what I mean? So this was your most important vibe, because if you didn't do that, it was awful latency, because this is like USB 1 vibes. So it being released in 2002 and it being Mac only when it first dropped, like, that is, I think, in my opinion, hot take, I think that this is where the whole the seeds of the Mac versus PC war inside the audio world is planted, because there was a whole year where you could not have Pro Tools. Now remember, Pro Tools was the only thing that people took serious as far as recording on a computer, and at the time it was what the hits were on. Pro Tools, you know, Pro Tools 5, like that's where people figured out the hybrid. The big studios are just using it as a tape machine, like, but everybody's flipping it in their own way. And it was the first time that it came to the consumer market, because before this, you couldn't even have the same amount of tracks that a studio had. Like a studio would have 64 tracks or 32 tracks on a tape, and you would have 4.
Yep.
Okay. Jeez, you would have 4, so you couldn't even track out all your drums, bro. You know what I mean? If it, you know, how many times you make a beat with like 5 VSTs, even if they're stacking each other? And could you imagine having to like pick and choose in the moment? Like, yo, I want to use this much this much compression on
and
it,
not be able to go back to that sound.
Yeah, can't go back.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's like, oh, you used this sound in this. Oh, well, there's no Control Z or Command Z. You now have to like go re-record that whole thing.
Yeah, that EP.
There's no undo.
That EP 005 better be hard. But that is where you had like a whole jump of people who, you know, if you were trying to do it on Windows, you were in like Cool Edit Pro.
Yes.
Yo,
Cool Edit.
Yo, what's Cool Edit Pro, bro? Is Cool Edit Pro a thing now?
Well,
no. You know why? Because fucking Pro Tools. So that's how
I know some radio stations that still use Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah, I'll bet, bro. Radio stations use weird shit. They have like a whole they have a whole page on Waves just for them because they use weird shit. Like, why can't they use RVox? No, they gotta have like broadcast limit, whatever, bro. So that is the first place that you could even have that discussion, is because Mac users got the Mbox first, you know. Because that's what was in the studio. That's how myths start, and that's how legends are born, and that's how the motherfucking legend of Pro Tools was spread on this earth.
So I feel, I mean, well, Macs were just more powerful at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, compared to the standard, you know, home personal computer. Probably Macs were more powerful, so it only makes sense to release it on the Mac.
Bro, I was flexing on an E machine. I don't know what was powerful back then. We got a computer at Walmart, bro.
Yeah. My uncle actually built my first one, and then like,
that's fire.
Then I fell in with these cats, and then like every weekend we would literally just rebuild computers.
Oh yeah,
mad geek situation.
Oh yeah, so
love it.
That's crazy, but bro. So this is the first one. Anything else that anybody was using, like, you were trash, straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
I mean,
and it's crazy because there was actual that was just a perception. That's not what was actually true. Like, anybody who had a computer, you could kill it. But that is it. It stopped it being supported like in 2009, and something changed. And it's and that's how we got to where we are today, because people are looking at that shit and they're like, bro, you know what is that, right?
Well, I mean, that's when there was that M Audio Avid situation, and the company split because.
But dude, that shit came right out the gate, 24-bit. There was you could not do 24-bit.
Hey.
On barely any of the workstations, bro.
And that's why, I mean, that's also why everyone just asks for an Mbox, you know?
That's what everybody still calls it, an Mbox.
Mbox, but I mean, it's actually called an interface, you know?
It's like Coke, but it's changing now, bro. Like now it's everybody asks for the Apollo. Like everybody asks for the Apollo, bro. So
speaking of which, I gotta go pick up.
Yeah, bro. So around this time, it was a crazy time to be a rapper, because you had opportunities to like different marketing strategies as far as trying to make it, like, because before you would make like this shit ass version of music on like on a tape recorder or a 4-track, and that was the only way you could practice. That's the only way you could express yourself. That's the only way you could put it in the car and play it back or listen to it at school or whatever. If you were slick, you could go and buy a CD burner. They didn't have them on computer yet, right? These shits were not on computer, but you could get one for like really fucking expensive at Circuit City, and it would record that shit in real time. That was the first time I put my music on a CD. That was the first time I ever like experienced my music as like, yo, I could take this and maybe sell this to somebody. Like maybe we could do it like that. Imagine that. Like imagine being in a period where you could not just make a song and it sound like all the other songs that you've ever heard. Like same quality, same, you know, same volume.
Yeah.
Same RMS, you know, it might not be as polished.
Yeah, but still
but you
product.
You could put all of the technical, you know, vanilla clinical know-how into it if you read enough forums.
Yeah.
And you watch and you watch Studio and tutorials.
Shameless plug.
But it brought, you know, if you wanted to make songs back then, you had to really be fucking delusional. You know what I mean? Like you had to be you could not hack Circuit City for their CD player. And you also could not hack Office Depot for their CDs. Like every decision that you made with creation costs money.
Yeah. And it's like you had to like you had to really be there like, damn, do I think that I'm going to be able to sell 50 CDs this month, you know what I'm saying, or this week?
Not only that, you had to go out and ask strangers to buy it from you.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean, like,
but that's a different show. That's a different show. That's a way different show. That's a rabbit hole. Mbox, dude. So what it did was it opened up people who might not have like that level of like delusional in them to believe that like, yo, I'm fucking so good at this, I'm going to spend a whole lot of money on it, showing everybody that I'm real good.
Yeah.
So now because you know who doesn't think like that is people who just have a vibe. You know what I mean? Like you know, the artists and the musicians that are just like, they're just vibe. They come in, they play any instrument. You know what I mean? You put any drums and they have a melody to it, no matter if they're like rapper, singer, or whatever. Like these people,
it's just them.
These people, you would probably never find them because they're not like, they're too chill. You know what I mean? Like you have to really, you know, you have to really believe in yourself when everybody is telling you, bro, you are crazy, get a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One more show, one more song, one more verse.
Yeah. So, you know, you open up the musical creation space to just everybody, and the result of it, the direct result of it, of that right there, and Pro Tools 5.4 LE is like the current state of music and the current state of the music industry. Is that like that's the whole point of this video? Is I've never I've never seen like any recognition for like bro, this shit is impact. This shit, all right. So as far as like putting your music out, right? That's where I started with that whole thing. Instead of making a demo and hoping that someone will like it enough to play it for somebody who can put you somewhere where you could make that song and actually put it on a CD that sounds really good, you know. Now you could just take the instrumental of a song that's on the radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. and then you could take the song that's on the radio and you could chop the middle of that song out, replace it with the instrumental, and now you can record yourself over this and throw it on MySpace. It doesn't have to be approved for people to see it. You don't have to go to the radio. You don't have to ask nobody, no questions. It's just your idea, right? You're like, yo, this is my idea. And then you put it up and people will see it. And that's it. And then what you do is what you do.
Yeah. If they like it, they like it.
But you know what's nuts about all that is, regardless of the fact that ugly ass piece of plastic put us in this spot, the conversation is still the same. Like, oh, they won't put out, they won't put out the good stuff. They're filtering it because they want to push an agenda. They want to make us crazy or whatever.
I mean, I feel like they don't push the good stuff, but the good stuff still comes out, So,
and why does the good stuff still come out?
Because people just drop their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just
because of the Mbox.
Yeah, I mean, without that, you wouldn't have that gateway to all of these other situations that are out now.
So I just want to say, upon speaking on all that, I just want to say thank you to Avid and fucking DigiDesign for coming together and blessing everybody with this revolutionary piece of technology that completely shifted paradigms and influenced culture in a way that I don't think is recognized enough.
Yeah. The Mbox.